The rain hammered the tin roof like 1,000 tiny accusations, each drop echoing the betrayal that had shattered Alex Harper's world just 6 months ago. In the dim glow of a single lamp, he clutched little Lily, his 4-year-old aunt, for God's sake, to his chest, her tiny sobs muffled against his faded Metallica tee, while the social worker's voice crackled over the phone. "Your family's gone, Alex. All of them. You're all she's got left." He wasn't ready for this. Not at 23. Not single. Not gay in a town that still whispered slurs behind picket fences. But as Lily's feverish forehead burned against his skin, he whispered into the storm, "I've got you, kiddo. We're in this together." Alex Harper had never imagined his life as a guardian angel, least of all for a toddler who shared his blood but not his generation. It started in the sticky heat of a Kansas summer, back when the Harper family gatherings were still laced with forced smiles and unspoken resentments. His grandparents, stern, Bible-thumping pillars of Elmwood, a fading speck on the map between Wichita and nowhere, had raised him after his parents' car wreck when he was 8. But they'd had secrets, the kind that festered like untreated wounds. His grandmother's late-in-life fling with a traveling salesman had produced Mia, Alex's aunt by blood, born when he was 19. Mia, wild and unapologetic, had crashed through their lives like a comet, leaving chaos and, eventually, Lily. Mia had been a whirlwind, tattoos snaking up her arms, a laugh that could disarm a room, and a habit of disappearing for weeks with vague promises of big breaks in Nashville. When she showed up pregnant at 22, Alex's age now, she'd crashed on the family couch, her belly swelling under thrift store band tees. The Harpers had tolerated it at first, but whispers turned to shouts when Mia came out as queer, dating women with the same reckless abandon she applied to everything. "It's a phase," Grandpa had growled, but it wasn't. Mia fled when Lily was 6 months old, chasing a girlfriend to California, leaving the baby with promises of postcards that never came. The family had rallied then, or so Alex thought. He was finishing community college, working doubles at the local diner, dreaming of escaping to Kansas City's art scene where a guy like him, quiet, sketch-loving, with a secret drawer full of pride flags, might blend in. But when Mia's trail went cold, the cracks showed. Grandma, frail and bitter, declared Lily cursed, a burden from sin. Grandpa, drowning in debt from the farm's collapse, saw dollar signs in foster care payouts. Alex's cousins, scattered and selfish, offered platitudes but no hands. And when Grandma's heart gave out last winter, followed by Grandpa's stroke that left him catatonic in a nursing home, the final call came, Mia, dead in a motel overdose. Her last words a scrawled note. Alex, keep her safe. That was the hook that snagged him. Safe. From what? From them? The family meeting in the hospital waiting room had been a farce. Aunt Karen, his dad's sister, had sneered, "You're not even settled, Alex. And that lifestyle of yours? A child needs stability." Uncle Ray, red-faced and reeking of cheap whiskey, had muttered about unnatural influences. They'd voted no, decided Lily would go into the system. Alex, heart-pounding, had scooped her up from the playpen, her chubby fists clutching his shirt, and walked out into the sleet. "Over my dead body," he'd said, voice steady for the first time in years. Now, in the creaky 2-bedroom rental on Elmwood's outskirts, a hand-me-down from a great-uncle who'd decamped to Florida, Alex navigated fatherhood like a blind man in a storm. Lily was a sprite of contradictions. Sunshine giggles one moment, night terrors the next. Her nightmares filled with mommies gone wails that pierced him deeper than any coming-out rejection. He quit the diner for a graphic design gig at a print shop downtown, Remote days spent sketching logos while Lily napped on a nest of blankets beside his desk. Mornings were a blur of Cheerios and cartoon marathons, evenings of bathtime bubbles and bedtime stories improvised from his sketchpad. Tales of brave knights who loved whoever they damn well pleased. But the weight pressed. At 23, Alex's social life was a ghost. Hookups sidelined by diapers, pride parades swapped for playground picnics. His best friend, Jamal from high school, texted encouragements. "Dude, you're a hero." But even Jamal's invites to queer mixers felt like distant thunder. And the family? They circled like vultures. Karen called weekly, her voice syrupy poison. "Just thinking of Lily's future. Alex, we could help. If you reconsider." Reconsider what? His queerness? His claim on the only blood tie that mattered? One crisp October afternoon, as leaves skittered across the cracked sidewalk, Alex pushed Lily's stroller toward Elmwood Elementary for her first daycare trial. She'd turned for that month. A cake from the dollar store with lopsided candles. And the state required socialization hours for his custody petition. The air smelled of wood smoke and possibility, but Alex's gut twisted. What if they saw through him, the ink stains on his fingers, the faint rainbow pin on his backpack, and deemed him unfit? The daycare center was a squat brick building with faded murals of smiling animals, the kind of place that screamed budget cuts. Inside, chaos reigned. Toddlers screeching, a harried aide wiping noses. Lily clung to his leg, her thumb in her mouth, eyes wide as saucers. "It's okay, bug," Alex murmured, kneeling to her level. "Uncle Alex will be back before nap time. Promise," as he signed her in. A voice cut through the din, warm, like aged bourbon. "First day jitters? Happens to the best of them." Alex looked up, and time stuttered. The man leaning against the cubby wall was mid-20s. Maybe, with tousled auburn hair that caught the fluorescent light like embers, and green eyes crinkled at the corners from a smile that felt like an invitation. He wore a faded Henley that hugged broad shoulders, jeans worn soft at the knees, and a lanyard identifying him as Ethan Caldwell, lead teacher. No ring, no pretense, just easy confidence that made Alex's pulse skip. "Yeah," Alex managed, straightening. "She's adjusting. I'm Alex. This is Lily." "Ethan." He extended a hand, calloused from playground duty, grip firm but kind. "Welcome to the zoo." "Lily? Huh? That's a strong name. Like the flower, tough, roots deep." Lily peeked out, intrigued, and Ethan crouched, offering a sticker from his pocket. A sparkly unicorn. "For brave explorers," he said, and just like that, she peeled away, toddling toward the block corner. Alex watched, chest loosening. "Thanks. She's not usually this bold." "Uncle, right?" Ethan's gaze flicked to the form, then back, curious but not prying. "That's cool. Family's what you make it." The words landed like a lifeline. Alex nodded, throat tight. "Yeah, exactly." He left with a wave, but Ethan's laugh lingered in his ears as he crunched leaves homeward. That night, as Lily babbled about Unicorn Man, Alex sketched idly, a figure in the margins, auburn hair haloed by sunset. It was nothing, he told himself, just a kind face in a sea of strangers. But in the quiet hours, with Lily's soft snores filtering through the baby monitor, he wondered if roots could twine with strangers, too. Weeks blurred into routine. Drop-offs where Ethan's grin became the highlight, pickups laced with small talk about Kansas football or Lily's latest masterpiece, a glob of finger paint dubbed Dragon. Ethan was a transplant from Lawrence, KU grad with a psych degree, drawn to early childhood ed because kids don't judge. They just see you. Alex shared bits, His design work, the custody fight veiled as family drama. Omission was easier than confession, but Ethan's easy nods invited more. One Friday, as Frost nipped the air, Ethan caught him at the gate. "Hey, Alex, Lily's thriving. But you look beat. Coffee? My treat. Neutral ground. I swear." Alex hesitated, Lily's mittened hand in his. The invitation hummed with subtext? Or was it wishful thinking? "Sure," he said, casual as he could. Why not? The diner was a relic. Vinyl booths, pie under glass, the jukebox crooning Springsteen. They slid in opposite, steam rising from mugs like shared secrets. Ethan stirred sugar, eyes on Alex. "So, Bill, what's a guy like you doing playing super uncle in Pottingville?" Alex laughed. Bitter edge. "Long story. Short version, family's a mess. They bailed. So, here we are." He traced the mug's rim, pulse loud. "And you? Saving the world one sticker at a time." Ethan leaned back, grin fading to something real. "Nah, just trying not to screw up my own. Grew up in a house full of love. But expectations. Dad wanted athlete. Mom wanted straight A's. I wanted art. And guys." The confession hung, light as confetti. Alex's breath caught. "Yeah, me too. Art and yeah." The air shifted, charged. Ethan's foot brushed his under the table. Accidental? Intentional? And neither pulled away. They talked for hours. Ethan's ex, a musician who'd ghosted. Alex's high school closet, the relief of college prides. Lily's name wove in, grounding them. When the waitress cleared throats, they parted with numbers exchanged. A promise of next time. That night, Alex lay awake, Ethan's laugh replaying. Hope flickered, fragile as a match in wind. But across town, in a split-level rancher, Aunt Karen scrolled her phone, pausing on a photo of Lily from daycare pickup, snapped by a concerned cousin. "Time to bring her home," she murmured to Uncle Ray, who nodded, glass in hand. The vultures were sharpening beaks. Thanksgiving loomed like a storm cloud, the kind that dumps snow on unprepared roads. Alex had never hosted growing up. Harper's did turkey at Grandma's, prayers laced with judgment. Now, with Lily, he improvised. A frozen bird from the market. Jamal roped in for moral support. And Ethan. Well, Ethan had texted midweek. "Single? Me too. Turkey crisis team." Alex's thumbs had hovered. Then, gate crash approved. "Bring pie." The rental smelled of sage and anxiety as Alex basted the bird. Lily helping by scattering corn kernels across the linoleum. Jamal arrived first. 6-foot frame folding into the door with a six-pack and bear hug. "Man, this place is you, cozy chaos." He was the only one who'd known Alex pre-Lily. The friend who'd held his hand at his first pride. Whispered, "You're enough," after family fallout. Over beers, Jamal grilled. "This Ethan's got you glowing." "Spill." Alex flushed, chopping celery. "It's early. But he gets it. The kid thing. The queer thing." No side-eye. Jamal smirked. "Good. You deserve that. Just don't ghost me for Pie Boy." The doorbell chimed as Ethan pulled up. Pie in hand, pumpkin, lattice crust perfection. He stepped in, shedding a wool coat to reveal a cable-knit sweater that hugged like a promise. Eyes lighting on Lily's kernel trail. "Art installation?" He knelt, sweeping them into a pile with her. Their laughter a duet that tugged Alex's heart. Dinner unfolded in fits. The bird slightly charred. But grace notes in Ethan's stories of botched family feasts. His sister's infamous vegan turkey flop. Lily perched on a booster, mashing yams with glee. declaring Ethan Pie King. Jamal watched, approving nods over wine. As plates cleared, talk turned deeper. Ethan shared his coming out, college party, a fumbling kiss with a roommate, the fallout with his dad. He came around, eventually. Pride flags in the garage now. Alex mirrored, voice low. The night he'd told Grandma, her silence louder than screams. She said I'd burn. But Lily, she's my redemption. Ethan's hand found his across the table, thumb brushing knuckles, a spark in the candlelight. Jamal cleared his throat, scooping Lily for nap enforcement, leaving them in the flickering living room. The air thickened, words unspoken. Ethan leaned in, breath warm. Alex, this us feels right. Scary, but right. Their first kiss was tentative, tasting of pie and possibility. Ethan's stubble grazing soft. Alex melted, hands fisting sweater wool, the world narrowing to heartbeat sync. When they broke, foreheads pressed, Ethan whispered, no pressure. But I'd fight for this. Alex believed him. In the weeks that followed, they carved space. Stolen coffees evolving to date nights, Lily in Jamal's care, Alex and Ethan wandering Kansas City's river market under string lights, hands laced, sharing dreams. Ethan sketched too, watercolors of urban grit, and they'd spread pads on Alex's coffee table, Lily's crayons joining, creating chaotic masterpieces. Romance bloomed quiet. A mixtape Ethan burned, retro charm. Playlists of Hosier and Vance Joy. Alex's custom logo for Ethan's side hustle. A kid's book about families that fit. But shadows crept. December brought custody hearings. The judge, a stern woman with wire rims, eyeing Alex's youth, his unconventional status. Mr. Harper, raising a child solo at your age is commendable, but resources. Social workers noted his income, steady but slim, his lack of extended support. Karen testified, tears theatrical, we're family, blood. Alex means well, but he's not equipped. The betrayal stung fresh. She'd visited once, cooing over Lily, then vanished when papers loomed. Ethan became anchor, attending hearings in pressed khakis, vouching, Alex is stability. Lily lights up for him, his presence fortified, but privately, doubts gnawed. Late nights, post-bedtime, they'd tangle on the couch, kisses deepening, hands exploring with reverence, stopping at shirt hems, boundaries sacred. I want all of you, Ethan murmured once, lips to collarbone. But only when you're ready. Alex ached, love unfurling like dawn. Yet fear whispered, what if they take her? What if I'm not enough? Christmas Eve snow-blanketed Elmwood, turning the town postcard pretty. Alex strung lights on the porch, Lily in a elf hat, giggling as Ethan lifted her to hook the star. Inside, tree aglow with dollar store ornaments. They exchanged gifts. Alex's sketch of them three, as a makeshift family. Ethan's leather journal, embossed stories we write. As Lily dozed by the fire, Ethan pulled Alex close. Marry me? He joked. Ring from a gum machine. Laughter dissolved to tears. Alex's, someday, he breathed. When it's safe. But safety shattered on New Year's. A knock at dawn. Deputies, papers in hand. Emergency custody order. Karen's petition, alleging neglect. Backed by witnesses claiming Alex's lifestyle endangered Lily. Fabrications. Late nights, date with Ethan. Unkempt yard, winter neglect. Heart hammering. Alex clutched Lily as they led her away. Her wail's uncle. No. Carving him hollow. Ethan arrived minutes later, face ashen, wrapping arms around Alex's collapse on the stoop. "We'll fight," he vowed, but doubt cracked his voice. The interim was hell. Supervised visits in a sterile room, Lily's confusion breaking Alex anew. "Why can't I go home?" she'd ask, and he'd choke. "Soon. Bug. Promise." Ethan rallied. Lawyers via queer legal aid. Jamal's couch for crash pads. But fissures showed. Ethan, exhausted from double shifts, snapped once. "Why didn't you tell me about the financial audits? I could have helped." Regret instant. But the seed planted. Reliance as burden? February's hearing loomed. A battleground. Karen's camp swelled. Cousins testifying for Lily's good. Painting Alex as flighty, immoral. Evidence mounted, doctored photos, whispered rumors to the judge's ear. Ethan testified, voice steady, "Love isn't blood. It's choice." Alex chose Lily every day. But cross-exam, "And your relationship, Mr. Caldwell? How stable for a child?" The implication landed like a slap. Alex, watching from the gallery, saw Ethan's flinch, the first crack in their armor. The courtroom in Topeka smelled of polished wood and desperation, the kind that clung like humidity. Alex sat ramrod, suit borrowed from Jamal too tight at the shoulders, as the judge reviewed folders thick as novels. Lily, in temporary foster care with a neutral family, waited in the hall with an aide, her absence a void Alex felt in his bones. Ethan squeezed his knee under the table, a silent mantra, "We're in this." But the tide turned swift. Karen's lawyer, slick as oil, paraded experts. A shrink deeming Alex emotionally immature, a social worker citing his isolated support network. Then the bomb, Uncle Ray, swaying on the stand, admitted concerns about Alex's associates, code for Ethan, twisted into tales of inappropriate influences at pickups. Lies, all, but the judge's brow furrowed. Alex's turn came last. Under oath, voice cracking, he poured it out. The wreck that orphaned him, Mia's fire and fall, the night he claimed Lily from a cold crib. "She's not a burden. She's my light. I changed my life for her. Jobs, dreams deferred. Because family isn't what they say. It's showing up." Tears fell, unashamed, and for a heartbeat, the room softened. Even Karen averted eyes. Recess brought chaos. Ethan in the hall, pulling Alex into a janitor's closet alcove. Desperate, devouring kiss, hands framing face. "You're magnificent," he gasped. "We'll win this." But victory slipped. The judge ruled interim custody to Karen, pending home study, citing best interests. Alex crumpled. Ethan's arms his only scaffold as deputies escorted Lily out. Her cry, "Uncle Alex," the keen of a blade. The drive home was silence shattered by sobs. Ethan gripped the wheel, knuckles white. "Temporary." That's what she said. But Alex saw the fracture. Ethan's averted gaze, the way he packed Alex's bag at Jamal's without asking. "Stay with me tonight," Ethan urged later. Over takeout in his tidy apartment. Plants on shelves, books stacked like sentinels. They made love then, first time. Slow and sacred, bodies mapping vulnerabilities. Ethan's whispers of forever against skin. Dawn found them entwined. But the call came at 8. Karen, gloating. "She's settling. Think about stepping back." Alex, for her. Betrayal brewed subtle. Ethan threw into advocacy. Petitions, fundraisers via queer networks. Even a GoFundMe that trended locally. Single gay uncle fights for family. Strangers donated. Stories poured in, echoes of Alex's own. Hope flickered, but strain mounted. Ethan canceled dates for prep. Alex withdrew into sketches dark as his moods. One night, post-visit where Lily clung tear-streaked. Alex lashed. You don't get it. She's slipping away. Ethan's retort stung. I get it more than you think. My sister's kid, foster hell. I fought, lost. But I didn't push everyone away. The words echoed, a mirror to Alex's isolation. Guilt festered. Was he toxic, pulling Ethan under? March thawed the fields, but not their chill. Ethan suggested therapy, couples, individual framed as strength. Alex agreed. Sessions in a sunlit office where Dr. Reyes, a soft-spoken Latina with pride earrings, unpacked layers. Alex's orphan wound, Ethan's savior complex masked as love. Progress came halting. A weekend getaway to Lawrence, Lily on a supervised outing with them, courtesy of a sympathetic aide. They picnicked by the Kansas River, Lily chasing ducks, Ethan snapping Polaroids. Look at us, he said, arm around Alex. A unit. Laughter returned, tentative, and nights rekindled. Passion tempered with talk, boundaries blurring to trust. Yet the home study loomed. Karen's house pristine, her facade flawless. Whispers reached Alex. She'd reformed, church attendance up, Ray in AA. A plant. He knew desperation's costume. The night before inspection, panic clawed. Ethan found him pacing, whiskey in hand, rare indulgence. What if they win? Alex choked. Ethan pulled him down. Fierce. Then we appeal. Move cities. Hell, Canada. But we don't lose us. The study passed in blur. Alex's rental deemed adequate, but Karen's optimal. The judge wavered, scheduling final hearing for April. Tension peaked. Ethan, buried in work, missed a pickup, traffic. He swore, but Alex's trust frayed. I need you all in, he texted, unread till midnight. Ethan's reply, I am. Swamped. Love you. Then the gut punch. Mid-April. Rifling for custody docs. Alex found emails on the shared laptop, Ethan's account open. To a lawyer buddy, Alex's case is solid, but if family pushes, might need to advise distance. Can't risk my job. Daycare scrutiny. Heart iced. Alex confronted over coffee. Printouts trembling. Distance? From what us? Ethan paled. Context. It was hypothetical. For strategy. God. Alex. I was protecting. By plotting exit? Betrayal bloomed. Venomous. You're just like them. Waiting for the mess to blow over. Ethan reached. Desperate. No. I love you. This is... Lily, it's everything. But words rang hollow. Echoes of family platitudes. Alex fled. Rain-slick streets blurring tears. Crashing at Jamal's. He's scared, Jamal urged. Talk. But pride walled Alex. Love as liability. Not lifeline. The hearing dawned gray. Alex, solo in the gallery, watched Karen preen. Testimony dragged her stability, his instability. Then Ethan took the stand, unbidden, eyes pleading across the room. I wrote this, he said, unfolding a letter. To Lily, for when she's older. About the man who taught me family, Alex Harper. He chose you when blood wouldn't. He chooses love, fierce and flawed. Marry him, in a heartbeat. Fight for him, every day. The room stilled. Judge's pen paused. Karen's face twisted, defeat dawning. Ethan stepped down, locking eyes with Alex. Raw, unarmored. Forgive me, he mouthed. Verdict fell like spring thunder. Full custody to Alex. Mr. Harper's commitment transcends biology, the judge intoned. Dismiss counterpetition. Cheers erupted, Jamal's whoop. Aides claps. But Alex's world narrowed to Ethan. Striding forward, arms open. "I'm all in," Ethan whispered, kiss salt-sweet with relief. No more distance. Summer unfurled in Elmwood like a hesitant promise. Fields greening under relentless sun. Lily bounded home from daycare, unicorn stickers armoring her overalls, chattering of Uncle E's stories. Custody secured. The air lightened. Visits with Karen reduced to holidays. Her apologies via card. Brittle as wafer. "For Lily," she'd write, and Alex let it lie. Forgiveness a gift, not obligation. He and Ethan rebuilt deliberate therapy Tuesdays. Date nights woven with Lily. Picnics where she'd marry them with dandelion crowns. Alex's design gig bloomed. Freelance for queer nonprofits. Sketches of intertwined hands symbolizing chosen kin. Ethan's book took shape. Roots We Plant. Tales for kids like Lily. Illustrated by Alex, dragons with two dads. Knights kissing under rainbows. But scars lingered, humanistic in their ache. Alex's trust mended slow. Ethan's emails deleted, but doubts whispered in quiet. One July Eve, fireflies dancing in the yard. Lily asleep inside. They sat on the porch swing rebuilt by Ethan's hands. "I almost lost you," Ethan admitted, voice rough. "That email. Fear talking. Scared I'd drag you down." Alex leaned head on shoulder. "You didn't. You showed up. That's the win." Their hands laced. Rings glinting simple bands from a Lawrence jeweler. Vows exchanged in a backyard ceremony months hence. Jamal officiating. Lily flower girl in a tutu of tulle. The wedding was intimate. 20 souls under oak boughs. Kansas breeze carrying petals. Vows echoed Alex's hook. The rain-soaked promise. "I choose you," Ethan said, "in storms and sun." Lily, between them, clutched bouquets, declaring, "Family forever." Laughter rippled. Tears too, Jamal's toast toasting love that defies. A cousin's quiet nod from the fringes. Post-honeymoon, a cabin in the Ozarks. Lily with Jamal, they settled into rhythm. Alex enrolled in online courses, eyeing Casey's scene. Ethan advocated for inclusive curricula, their home a beacon. Challenges came. Lily's questions, "Where's mommy?" met with truths gentle. "She loved you fierce, but couldn't stay. We love you more." Night terrors eased, replaced by dreams shared. One autumn dawn, 2 years on, Alex woke to Ethan's note. "Coffee run. Love your chaos." Lily's giggle from the kitchen, pancakes burning. He joined, flipping flops, Ethan's arm snaking waist. Morning. Husband. Life wasn't flawless, bills bit. Judgments lingered from old neighbors, but humanism prevailed. In Lily's school play, where she cast them as brave uncles. In Ethan's pride float banner, Alex's ink bold. Betrayal's shadow taught. Love demands voice, not perfection. As winter whispered near, snow dusting the porch, Alex held Lily on his lap, Ethan sketching by lamplight. "Story time," she demanded, and they wove one, of a boy in rain, choosing light. The hook, a knock at midnight, a child in arms, promise unbroken. And in the end, roots twined deep, not blood, but chosen, enduring. For in America's heartland, where storms rage and skies clear, family blooms where it's planted. Alex Harper, once adrift, now anchored gay, young, whole, with love's light chasing shadows away.